Hey, what's up guys? So Uniden just released new update software for their R-series detectors. They also released a bunch of updates for all the different detectors themselves too. But in this video, I want to go ahead and take a look at first the new update software, especially the new feature that's going to allow you to change the settings in your detector right from your computer, as well as to save the settings to your computer to back them up or to later restore them from your computer. And so let's go ahead and take a look and see how this works. All right, so first things first, in order to grab this new update software, you're going to want to head on over to Uniden's support page. I'll put a link to this page down in the video description for you. Then you can just scroll on down and click on radar detectors, and then you can scroll down again, and there's going to be a gray button right here for firmware. So we'll click on that, and as you can see, we've got a number of different things here. Now, for your detector, they're actually going to give you the latest different firmware versions that are available. So you can go right here and download, for example, the latest firmware version for your detector. And then down underneath, they have the full changelog as far as all the new features and improvements here for your detector. And as you can see, they've updated, well, all of the different R-series detectors. There's also separate database files for the GPS database for the red light camera, and speed cameras, for example. You can download that, again, depending on which detector you have. Now, for this video, again, we're going to be focusing on the update software. I'll be doing separate videos going over the firmware updates for the detector, but you're going to want to download those two in addition to the update software. So we're just going to go ahead and grab this here off Uniden's website. And then once you download and unzip, you're going to have two different folders, one for Windows and one for Mac. I'm doing this on a Mac, so I'm going to go ahead and just install this here. Sometimes you do get this error, and if you do, you're going to want to go over and pull up the system settings, and then scroll down to the section for security. This may look a little different depending on what version of OS X that you're running, and Windows, again, a little bit different too. But in any event, you're going to scroll down. There's going to be an option here to just open this software anyways. And then you're going to want to go ahead and install both this update software and the drivers that it's going to prompt you to install too. I know I kind of buzzed through that. If you need any help as far as updating, just hop onto the forums for any sort of tech support for getting the update software installed. In any event, once you get it up and running, it's going to look like this. I'm going to go ahead and start by plugging in an R4, and it's going to go ahead and connect to my detector. Now, I've noticed the update software isn't yet able to go out and check for these new update files that are available on Uniden's website. So remember how I mentioned you're going to want to download those update files off their website yourself. Once you do that, you can go over here to download files. You can read the current version of the firmware on the detector. I've already updated here. And then just go to open, and then go and grab the update file that you downloaded off of Uniden's website. Then just hit start download, and it's going to update your detector. Now, once you're done with that, the main thing that I wanted to focus on is this new user setting option. This only seems to work with a couple different detectors, which I'll show you here in just a second, but let's take a look as far as what the feature is like. So the main idea here is it's going to give you the ability to go in and change different settings in your detector. So if you want to adjust any of the options here, you can do it right from the computer without actually having to go into the detector itself and change settings in the menu. So we've got a couple different options here. We can adjust the different band settings. We can adjust the different options for the GPS. We can adjust the different tones and sounds. And then we have the last setting here, or the last group of settings for the different display options. So to adjust the color or brightness and things like that. Anyways, you can go in here and play with that. And one of the cool things that I also wanted to show you, there's a couple different buttons here at the bottom. So once you're done kind of customizing the settings in your detector, you can just hit the button here to store these settings to your detector, and there you go. Additionally, if you've changed the settings on the detector and you want to bring them into the computer again, you can hit load from unit like that too. It should go ahead and load the settings at launch, but you've got the ability to load them in like that. Now, there's also two other options here at the bottom, allowing you to basically back up the different settings that you've got here on the detector. So let's say you've got a group of settings that you really like. You can hit save to file, for example, and it's going to go ahead and save this kind of configuration that you've got for the detector as a file to your computer. Then later, let's say maybe you go in and you change a bunch of the options and you're like, hey, I really like the settings that I had before, or maybe I've got different profiles for different areas that I drive or whatever. I'll hit open from file, and then I'll pull up that user setting option, and then boom, it's going to go ahead and copy that on over to the detector. So basically, we've got new update software here that's going to allow us to go and change the different settings in the detector, or to back them up and save them and things like that, which is pretty cool. Now, as far as which detectors support this ability here with the update software to go in and change your settings, I've noticed it's kind of variable, and I've been having kind of mixed results. So it seems to work here pretty well with the R4, but let's try a couple other detectors too. If I plug in my R8, it's going to go ahead and pull that up here as well. But I've noticed it doesn't actually show me the option to go in and adjust the settings. I have seen other people on the forums who are able to adjust the settings on their R8. So again, let me know maybe down in the comments if this works for you guys with your R8s. I've also noticed with my R7, if I plug that in, I get the option here for the user setting too. I'll go ahead and pull that up. But when I try, you're not going to notice it's going to go ahead and just kind of error out, right? So I get this failed to load error, and then it doesn't allow me to actually go in and change any of the settings. Maybe it's because of the version that I have. I know there's 2 different hardware versions for the R7. Maybe a different version to work properly. So again, if you guys could let me know in the comments kind of what you guys are noticing too. I'm literally just sitting here experimenting and discussing with you guys what I'm seeing as I'm learning this. Next, I'm going to plug in my R3. And it's going to pull that up. I've got this updated to the latest version as well. I'm not seeing a prompt here or the ability for the R3 to adjust settings with the app. And then lastly, if I try it here with the R1, it's going to be the same as the R3. So I'm really so far only able to do it with my R4. I believe you're supposed to be able to do it with the R8. And then the R7 I think is supposed to work as well. I did see it on the changelog on Uniden's website. But anyways, that's kind of what I'm noticing so far with this new update software. The main improvement here is that you've got this new user setting option, which is going to allow you to go in and read the settings in your detector and then change them as needed, then save them to the detector. I guess that didn't work. Okay. Yeah, I guess you're supposed to have the option to save it. We'll try it here again. Store to unit. There we go. That worked. So as you can see, it's kind of flaky here, right? A little hit or miss. I've also noticed some people on the forums are having issues getting the updates to complete successfully. Sometimes they do have to try multiple times. So again, if you have any issues like that, please head over to the forums, and that's going to give you guys a lot more information as far as kind of what's going on and tech support and troubleshooting and that kind of stuff. But anyways, yeah, that's it for now. I'm going to have a link to where you can go and download this new update software here on Uniden's website, and then you guys can take it from there. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys are doing great, and I'll see you in the next video.